So I've done 2 videos in the past on my Red Komodo rig builds. The first one was an ultimate AKS video, and the second one was a realistic look at how minimalist you can really go with this camera. And now, since owning this bad boy for the past 11 months, I've shot quite a few different projects with it. A series of 5 commercials for a company called Telecoach, which all aired on Hulu, a feature film, a few spec commercials, 5 short films, and recently a new pilot for an upcoming streaming series. And every time I'm on a new job, things change as they do, and this rig is constantly evolving. So today's video is going to be all about my current rig setup and my workflow with the Red Komodo. Starting at the base, you'll notice that I have it wrapped with a white camo skin from a company called Alpha Guard. I like it. I'm into customization and I think it's cool. Now, regarding the skins, a couple comments were sent my way that I want to address. The first one was someone sent me a message on Instagram saying, haha, why did you even spend $1,000 on the white one? And the answer to that is, just so you all know, I didn't spend an extra grand on this camera just because of the cool white color. I spent all that extra money so I could be one of the first people to have this camera in my hands and not be waiting around forever. I have been waiting for years on a Red camera that I can actually afford. So when the Komodo was finally announced, it was a no-brainer. I know plenty of cats that are still waiting to get their hands on this camera. Meanwhile, I've been shooting on it for the past 11 months. The other comment was, aren't you worried about this white skin getting dirty? And my answer to that is, that's kind of the whole point of a skin, bro. So the white paint job on my Stormtrooper was getting a little tainted. So that's one of the reasons I started scoping out that company Alpha Guard and all the different skins that they offered. But also, like I said before, I think it's cool. One important note for all of my fellow Stormtrooper owners out there that are looking to protect the freshness of your white paint, Alpha Guard is a great option and they make some awesome patterns and colorways for their skins. But my advice when choosing the color of your Alpha Guard skin is to choose something that closely matches the color of your camera body, because I originally had a dark red and black skin and that really clashed with the stark whiteness of the Stormtrooper body, and the seams really stood out like a sore thumb. So then Alpha Guard sent me this white camo skin and I really dig it. You can't even really tell where the camera starts and where it begins. And as far as the application goes, it is super easy. Alpha Guard includes all the tools you need and they have a really good instructional video to follow along. But be on the lookout over on my Instagram @KidTech if you want to see how quick and easy applying the Alpha Guard skins really is. And if you ever want to swap them out like I did, that is also super easy to do and there is no sticky residue left behind whatsoever. So next up, let's talk about the cage. I went with the 8-Sin, and that's really for 2 main reasons. The first one that was really important to me was having a cage that allowed for a lens adapter foot. Because one of the first things that I pre-ordered for my Komodo was this Kippertie EF to RF locking adapter. These locking mounts are essential for killing any sort of lens wiggle, and they also make swapping lenses a little more efficient when using a wireless follow focus. However, any lens adapter, when connected to any other camera body, is usually always going to have a little bit of wiggle or play. So to make that connection super solid, you're always going to want to tie it down with a lens adapter foot. And not every cage has thread holes for such an accessory. But not only does the 8-Sin have the ability to put a lens adapter mount foot on, but they also make one specifically made for the Komodo and the Kippertie. It's only 25 bucks extra and your lens and camera body connection will be as solid as a friggin' tank. The next reason for going with the 8-Sin was for this awesome base plate. This thing has RE rosettes for whatever sort of handles you want to throw on for a shoulder rig option. 15mm rod supports are built in, as well as this rad dovetail quick release. For me, it was a no-brainer. So one thing you'll notice here is that I am not rocking the top plate for my camera cage. And the reason for that being is because I already had the outrigger handle. I bought the handle the same day I bought the camera. A lot of guys complain about the placement of the record button on the Komodo. And this is something that I have never experienced because the outrigger handle just keeps that record button right under my thumb. $500 well spent. Now, stacked on top of my outrigger handle is a little 4-inch NATO rail made by Camvate. And I'll leave a link to this down in the description below because this little rail fits perfectly on the Komodo, whether you're using the outrigger handle, a cage, or nothing at all. Now, a NATO rail is crucial for me because I am a top handle guy. Now, I went through quite a few different top handles and finally settled on this one for now. This one is made by a company called Mini Focus. It is very inexpensive, but has a lot of nice features. So there were a few key elements that I specifically needed in a top handle. First, it obviously needed to be NATO. But the most important thing is finding a top handle that has ARRI locking points at the end for my monitor. I'm not talking about on the top of the handle, I'm talking about literally at the end. Now this is important because you'll see some guys who stack their monitor on top of the top handle and it gets really crazy really quick. You really start enhancing the height of your rig quite rapidly by doing that, and it looks a little crazy in my opinion. So the tricky part with wanting to rock a monitor with your top handle is keeping your rig slim and tight and short. So if you can find a top handle like this Mini Focus one that has ARRI locking points at the end of it, you can rock this strong little small rig monitor mount. And those ARRI locking points allow it to bolt in and keep it secure with only one 3/8 inch bolt. And this way I can still rock my monitor with a top handle and still be able to swivel and tilt it without all the crazy height. Some bonuses of this Mini Focus NATO top handle is that it's really well built. You can quickly rotate it to 90 degrees if you need to, so you could do more of like a T-handle situation. And this polished wood grain grip is a really nice touch. There's more ARRI locking points all along the top. They include a built-in little Allen key, and the cool part is there are 3 cold shoes on the top and 3/8 inch holes. Now the 3/8 inch threaded holes on the top are crucial for me because I rock the EasyRig quick release system. And the way that EasyRig quick release system works is with these little 3/8 inch bolts that have little balls on the top. And I always keep one bolted in the middle of my top handle at all times. And then another thing I did is I got a set of these little cold shoe level bubblers, and that's just nice to always be able to quickly check my horizon when I'm shooting handheld. Now sometimes I also rock these leather rosette handles from Camvate, and again, they just pair perfectly well with this 8-sin base plate. And if you've never used rosettes before, you really should. It's just so fast and quick on the fly to just quickly rotate the handle any way you want. Full 360 degrees. And something that I do, since I'm usually rocking on the EasyRig and I always have the outrigger handle for my right handle, then I can use the left one to really just kind of put it wherever I need it and have some extra stability. And that really is nice when you're floating around on the EasyRig. Okay, so now let's talk about power. I am still in love with this wooden camera battery slide. Now I have the extension mount plate for it, which allows me to always rock a Canon BP955 battery on the camera body itself at all times. And I cannot tell you guys how many times rocking that onboard BP955 saved the roll when the V-mount dies. It happens all the time. So if you're rocking some other V-mount plate that doesn't allow you to use a BP955, I don't know. Good luck with that. I talk about it all the time. It has surge protection. You can power up to 4 accessories, and the fact that it plugs directly into the camera's DC port, your onboard camera battery will always have a charge. And it's nice that there's this little quick release lever here. You can just quickly adjust it and rotate it and set it wherever you like. Now, as far as batteries go, I have a gang of nano batteries, lots of different brands, GDU, Core SWX. But the ones I've been rocking the most lately and telling people to get is these little nano batteries from this company called FX Lion. Now, at first I was a little hesitant, but I did a job out in Brooklyn and they had these and I was sold on them. These are perfect for that gimbal job. So when I got home, I ordered a couple myself. I love the little, you can have this little button you press and you get a complete readout on the little bright OLED screen here. And beyond just having DTAP, you can use this for travel as well to pretty much charge anything all day long because you get a lightning bolt USB-C, micro USB-C, and a USB 3. So you gotta check these out if you haven't. Again, there will be links to the majority of this stuff down in the description below. And even with these 98 watt-hour V-mount batteries, I still get anywhere from 3 to 4 hours a pop. And I'm powering more than just the camera. I'm also powering the monitor, the follow focus motor, and the Vaxis unit. Now, talking about monitors, I am still rocking and really enjoying this Portkeys BM5WR. I did a full video on this in the past. If you didn't see that, again, there'll be a link down in the description below. A lot of people like this because of the wireless Komodo control. Me, honestly, I never use that. I just don't really care about that feature. I just love this monitor for what it is. It's well built, it's really lightweight, the colors are excellent, and it is super bright. Now, talking about monitors, I want to reveal something to the world that I just recently discovered. And maybe I'm a little bit of a dummy, but I feel like I'm not the only one that didn't know this existed. So I'm going to tell you guys about a little bit of a secret hidden menu option that allows you to get the traffic lights and goalposts onto any external monitor. Because it took me about 10 months to realize this. Now, I've done a whole video on how to utilize the traffic lights and goalposts. I'm sure most of you have already seen that, but for all my new friends here, I'll leave a link down in the description below. I absolutely love the goalpost and traffic light system that Red has employed for years. It's one of my favorite features of all Red cameras. It is just a super smart exposure tool, and I really wish more cameras could figure it out. However, with the placement of the Komodo screen, it's not always easy, depending on your setup, to quickly check those exposure tools. So this is why you're going to want to send that information out to your onboard monitor. Once you understand how to embrace the power of those goalposts and traffic lights, you will never, ever have troubles with exposure ever again. The video is down in the description below. I encourage you to watch it if you haven't. So, regardless of all that, if you do not know how to get your goalposts and traffic lights onto your external monitor, this is how you do it. Go to Menu, go down to Monitoring, from there go to SDI, scroll all the way to the bottom, turn on Overlay, and here's the trick. Change Overlay Mode to Advanced. And bingo, now you have the RGB histo as well as the traffic lights and goalposts all on your external monitor. That was a game changer for me. I absolutely love that because I use the goalposts and traffic lights all the time, and if you are a Red owner, you should be doing that as well. All you have to do with a quick glance, you can instantly see what channels you're clipping or where you're completely losing information. Now, you may have noticed this little baby SmallRig NATO rail mounted here on the left side of my cage. And this is specifically for a little mini 15mm rod with a little tiny NATO quick release. And that's because we use this for mounting the follow focus motor. So if you also have been having trouble with the Tilta Nucleus M, then try mounting that bad boy from the top, and I can 90% guarantee that most of your issues with any follow focus motor will go away. And that also allows for more real estate on the rails down below for using a swing away map box. Now, I use the Bright Tangerine Misfit. I have it fully kitted out and modded to my liking. That's one of the things I love about Bright Tangerine. You can completely customize your entire map box kit right on their website. They make it really fun and easy to do. But I also have the Bright Tangerine Misfit Atom, and that's primarily for lighter builds and more handheld work. Be on the lookout in the near future for a full video on my map box setup. But if you'd like a little preview, check out the video I dropped last week on where I take a deep dive into studying 3 different brands of black diffusion filters. Now, as far as lenses go, I did ditch the Contax Zeiss last fall. And for those of you that follow me on Instagram, you already know that I've been rocking the Milvus Super Speeds since about October of last year. And I have been getting a ton of requests from people all over asking me to do a video on my Zeiss Milvus Super Speed lenses. Trust me when I tell you, it is coming. So many videos coming up, you might as well just hit that subscribe button now. If you're on the Dog Times Patreon, you're not gonna wanna miss this week's video. I do a full breakdown from when I was the gaffer on the newest Andy Grammer music video, Lease on Life. We had a lot of fun on that one, creating a really cool dreamy look where it was kinda like Knives Out meets One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. There are links down below. As always, thanks for stopping by, and for now, that is a wrap. Oh God, was I in focus? Probably not. Probably wasn't in focus. Probably was putting my weight on the wrong foot, so this light's looking all stupid. Everything's too dark. I'm gonna have to do a shit ton of B-roll, but at least I got my Coca-Cola.